So Black Adam was directed by Jean-Colette Serra and it stars Dwayne Johnson as the anti-hero known as Black Adam. And 5,000 years after Black Adam was seemingly killed, he was resurrected, he was brought back to life, and now he must become the protector of the world that he's in, or he may wind up being the destroyer of this world. Who knows where this will go. So, this was a movie that I was kind of iffy about going into. DC movies, in my opinion, are hit or miss. Some of them I like, some of them I don't really like. And this movie kind of didn't really interest me too much. Dwayne Johnson, I think he's all right. I think his movies are entertaining. I'm not going into a Dwayne Johnson movie and expecting high quality filmmaking by any means. I look for, I go to a Dwayne Johnson movie and think, I'm just gonna have a good time. I don't care. And this movie overall, I will say it can be fun. I did have some fun throughout this movie, but there are also a lot of things that I just did not care for in this movie. So let's get into stuff I did like. Well, Dwayne Johnson, I thought he did a really good job in the movie. I thought he was, even though he was really stoic throughout the movie, a lot of his humor is pretty deadpan. I thought that really worked for him. Some of the other performances are really good, particularly Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. I thought he did all right. I thought that his back and forth with Dwayne Johnson was pretty funny, and I kind of wanted to see more of that. Pierce Brosnan does an all right job. Also, Sarah Shahi, who's in the movie, I thought she was really good. Also, the actor who plays her son, Bodhi, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. The actor who played her son in the movie, I thought he did a really good job too. And admittedly, the movie can be funny, both intentionally and unintentionally. It can be intentionally funny because, like, oh, there's a fun action sequence, or this scene was edited funny, and like this line was actually funny and was delivered well. Sometimes it can be unintentionally funny though. Like it looks goofy. Like sometimes it tries to be super serious, but because of the way that like they're showing their faces, the way they express emotion is really terrible at times, and that was really funny to me. It's both an intentionally funny movie and an unintentionally funny movie, which is just weird to me. And the movie has a lot of action sequences, which I thought were really good. Not the greatest edited, which I'll get to. And I do think that after this movie, there is a promising future for Black Adam, and I think I kind of want to see more of this. I just kind of wish I got a better movie out of it. Let's get into the things I didn't care for, and that includes the CGI. The CGI is just way too distracting. I didn't care for it. It just got annoying after a while. Also, the slow motion. This isn't even a Zack Snyder movie. But there is so much slow motion in this movie that it just became annoying to me, honestly. Man, it's not Morbius bad, but this is still pretty bad. And also, some of the other actors are either wasted or kind of just annoying. Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher, I thought he was annoying. He kind of came across as a Deadpool knockoff. From his costume to him cracking jokes, it just didn't work for me. Also, Quintessa Swindell, her character I thought was just pointless. She didn't really do anything. She kind of just flew around in the air, made some pretty colors, and that was it. Nothing about it. Nothing about her was really that great. Also, Muhammad Amar, he's another character who has a lot of comedic moments, supposedly, because I don't think I laughed at anything he said. Like the ones whose only job is to be funny, they're not funny. At least Dwayne Johnson, he's kind of being funny, but like it's not his job to really be funny in this movie, and he's surprisingly funnier than those two actors are in this movie. And also, the villain in the movie played by Marwan Kenzari. If you don't remember who he is, he played Jafar in a live-action Aladdin movie. Yeah, he's back playing another terrible villain, and his villain in this movie is so bad that once again he kind of turns into a CGI monster. Ugh, he has to stop playing villains, honestly. I don't like him as a villain. Maybe try playing a hero once in a while. And also, I didn't really care for the editing of this movie. Sometimes it just kind of cuts between action scenes, and it just didn't really interest me. Like, it couldn't tell at times what was happening. And also, it kind of borrowed from a lot of other movies, particularly Marvel movies, because, I don't mind if DC kind of borrows Marvel, the Marvel style of storytelling, because like that has really worked out for the most part. DC has just been hit or miss with its storytelling. Here, it was kind of like how I felt about Aquaman. They kind of borrowed too many elements from other Marvel movies. Like Pierce Brosnan's character reminded me a lot of Doctor Strange. Noah Centineo reminded me of Deadpool, and it just kind of got annoying after a while. And by the end, it's like I'm thinking, you know, you can make a drinking game with all the references to Marvel in this movie because there are just so many. It copies Marvel so often that it honestly should just be a Marvel movie. But this is a DC character, so it just doesn't work. So, and also, even though I know this is in the comics, Eternium, that is still a really dumb name. And in the movie, they don't really mention anything about it. There's a lot of drop storylines in this movie. Eternium is just pointless. It's really dumb. It sounds like, Unobtainium from Avatar. It's so stupid, in my opinion. And they don't really explain anything with it. It's just annoying. There's like one storyline involving like the the regular people in this town, and they're like under like this very strict government, and they don't really do anything with it. They just kind of bring them in at the end. It's like, oh, okay, here's your chance to stand up, and yeah, they stand up, and they didn't really do it well. They didn't really set it up well. It's just kind of a movie that when you're not thinking about it, it's fun, and that's kind of like the way that Dwayne Johnson movies are. They're fun, just don't think about it too hard. So overall, even though some of the performances are really good, even though it can be funny, again, both intentionally and unintentionally, there's a lot of action and it does have a promising start. I just know what they could fix. They could get rid of some of these side characters or maybe develop them better. They could cut it with the CGI, cut it with the slow motion, and actually tie up storylines, maybe make the whole Eternium thing make sense. And maybe instead of trying to borrow from Marvel, try to do your own thing. Like, how hard is that? Apparently very hard when you're trying to build a cinematic universe. So I'll give Black Adam 2 out of 4 stars. Stream it. So, what's your favorite superhero movie of the year? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat. Stay safe.